Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. And hello to all of you who are in our live audience here at the Atlantic Council, and those many of you who are on virtually today. And some good morning to those here, and again, our friends in Europe, good afternoon, and people really all over the world. And so I want to welcome you to our eighth, hard to believe, eighth annual Central and Eastern European Conference. And, you know, I don't think we've ever had a conference at a more important time, given the situation in Ukraine, given the situation with respect to European energy security, the role that Central and Eastern European countries are playing and will continue to play. I don't think I need to say anything more about that right at the moment. I mean, it's obvious, I think, to everybody how important it is right now to be working on these issues. I also want to thank the Visegrad Four, who we work with every year with respect to the conference. And this year we're partnering with the Slovak Republic. And thank you for all of your help with respect to this conference. I think we should go immediately to our initial speakers. And our first speaker, and ready to go, is Minister of Economy of the Slovak Republic, Peter Dovhun. So let me ask you to give your keynote remarks, and then we'll be having a fireside chat a little later this hour. So, Minister Dovhun.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure and big honor for me to share the time at this wonderful event. And for me personally, if it was 5 weeks ago, I would be here as the representative of the electricity transmission system operator in Slovakia and in the European Union. 5 weeks later, I'm the Minister of Economy, also responsible for the energy. So it's really a pleasure and the honor. I promised the organizers to keep my first part, the keynote, very, very short. What I would like to actually share with you is the framework, the structure that our team has been working on with regards to the energy transition and the roadmap of Slovakia, but also the European energy system that would actually address three areas or the three dimensions of the complex and interconnected energy system, which actually needs to respect the complexity as well as the physics. And if you allow, I just ask for the flip chart. I don't know if the back rows could see the writing here, but I'll try to articulate. When we talk about the system and the dimensions of the energy system, how we look at the details, the areas, the challenges and the priorities are in three different vectors. What is the discussion about the climate change and the energy transition? It's about our vision and our shared desire to leave this planet to our children and grandchildren in a way they could enjoy. They could go to ski as we used to. They could go to the seaside and enjoy the sea. They could breathe the healthy air. So what we're trying to do is to find a way how to decarbonize, how to actually say goodbye to oil, gas, coal, and other emitters of the CO2, and just one of the areas. Also, the pollution of the water and the ocean is another area. So the sustainability is one of the dimensions. And of course, when it comes to the energy and replacement of the fossil fuel, it's worth to explore the new sources of generating electricity or providing the energy from the wind, solar, geothermal, and nuclear as well. However, how this is connected with the security of supply, it's something that was not probably on the radar or the big priority a few years ago. But the pandemics, post-pandemics, and the war in Ukraine actually provided us with the wake-up call and the urgency to look at this dimension. Are we really able to find a balance between measures that are focused on the sustainability with the security of supply? Do we have the infrastructure, not only the generation capacity, do we have the grids that would be able to cater for the growing demand of the electricity, of the power and the generation capacity? Do we have the storage that would be available? Do we have also the technologies? Because security of supply in the energy system is not only about the fuels or the generation sources or the infrastructure. It's about the digitalization. The way how we're going to handle the energy system is going to be digital. So besides the raw materials and the precious minerals that wouldn't be necessary for the batteries, electric vehicles, storages, we're talking about the chips that are part of almost every single device that we're using today. Not only the mobile phones, but also in the energy system. What I'm really proud is that our team, together with the partners in Europe, are looking at the third dimension at the same time to keep a balance between three key areas, not just two. We're not talking about the dilemma, we're talking about the trilemma. And the third one is affordability. When we talk about sustainability and security of supply, we're talking about the households who take as granted that if the switch is turned on, the light is on. The industry that needs the energy to produce the goods, to manufacture and sell, to provide the jobs for their employees and the way of living for the families. We're talking about the public sector, the organization that provides education, healthcare, transportation, and so on. So it's very important and essential to look at the measures, not only in the balance between security of supply and sustainability, but also to put a price tag to see what is the impact to the costs and the affordability of energy. In Slovakia, in our team, we believe that access to electricity and energy should not be a privilege. It's quite a strong statement to say it should be granted, something we should be ready to pay for, but pay for in a manner it does not actually hurt our disposable income, it does not hurt our industry, its competitiveness on a global level. And when we talk about the affordability, the way how we actually look at it is in two buckets. The first one is the direct cost of the transition, which means, and you can translate it to different metrics, but one of them is what is going to be the cost of power or the energy, euro per megawatt hour. What is very important is also to understand the other part, the other area, and its indirect costs, the things that are very necessary to unveil and put on the table in the very beginning of the transition. And when I talk about the indirect, it's the things that we would pay euro per megawatt hour in the tariffs, the capital cost of the infrastructure, the incentives, or the capacity mechanisms that would need to be applied to keep the flexibility of the system. So I just wanted to share with you the three dimensions, and I leave and close with probably a small food for thought, because you can actually apply these 3 points here or use them in the three-dimensional chart. Just use the 3 dimensions. Can you see it? I believe that our ambition should be to find the balance and the set of measures and the technologies that would provide for the maximum in the dimension of sustainability, would provide the maximum in the security of supply, and would provide the maximum in the dimension of affordability. I'm the economist, so the math, besides the physics, that is my favorite subject, math and the statistics is something that I grew up and I made my degree. So basically we can use the area, the triangle, which is the maximum of 3 dimensions. I leave this with the food of thought. Pick a measure, pick a policy, pick a topic of the discussion of the last months and years, and try to put it on the 3 dimensions. Where it fits into sustainability, where it fits in the security of supply, and is it in the maximum or in the minimum of the level of the affordability? This is the way how we're actually looking at and trying to contribute to the system and the transition by using facts, respecting physics, and having no bias discussion about the nuclear, about the solar, about the transition from the fossil to the green energy society. Thank you very much.